Getting your team set up is a key part of using the KORONA system. This video will walk you through the two employee login types, cashiers and users. We'll show you how to create these logins and how to assign them specific permissions to determine what they can and can't do. To create and edit your employee logins, we'll need to first log into the KORONA Studio. Once there, you'll navigate to the left-hand side, click Employees, and you'll see you have cashier roles, cashiers, user roles, and users. Now, what's the difference between cashiers and users? So cashiers are logins for the point of sale, and users are the logins for the KORONA Studio. Depending on your needs, you may have someone who has a cashier login as well as a user login, or maybe just one of either. Now, the roles that they're assigned to are the permissions of what they can and can't do in a respective spot, whether it be at the point of sale or the KORONA Studio. Now, let's first take a look at cashier roles. As you can see here, I have two different cashier roles. We have a basic cashier role and a manager role. The manager has access to everything, and the cashier has some limitations. Now, if you wanted to figure out which permissions matter to you and which ones you want to give access to for your cashiers, we do have a manual page that gives you some details behind each of these individual permissions. So if you go here in the top right, you can have a quick link to get to that page by going to cashier roles and permissions. Now let's go ahead and show you what it looks like to make a cashier. So we'll select new in the top left, and we're going to give them a name. Just call them Josh Jones. We'll give them a login code. For simplicity, I'll just do 1234. This code can be as long or as short as you want it to be. It can be a single number if you want it to be. And then if you do use the clock in and clock out system on your point of sale, we recommend changing the cashier number to match the login number, because the cashier number is the number that is used when you're clocking in and clocking out. That way they can just have one number to memorize. We can also determine which store or organizational unit that they're going to be attached to. So let's say they're just going to work at the Nevada store, so I'll just select that. And then of course we want to assign them their specific cashier role. So this is just a base level cashier, so I will click that role. And I'll also show you a little reminder of what those permissions entail for that cashier role. Now that we've talked about cashier roles and cashiers, let's move on to users and user roles. Now, some people, when we tell them that they can allow their employees to log into the KORONA Studio, get a bit afraid or a bit skeptical because they don't want their employees to have access to their database. Well, the good news is that the user roles can allow you to tailor it to a very specific measure, such as if you want a employee to only ever have access to just this inventory section so they can do inventories for you, then we can make it so that when they log in using their employee login or their user, it will only show inventory and then inventories. Every other section on here they won't have access to, and they won't even be able to see. So let's take a look at that. If we go to user roles, you'll see right now we just have the admin user role, which will give them access to everything. So as you can see here, there's quite a few different things that we can allow or disallow for this specific user. So let me go ahead and create a new one and show you how we can tailor it. So we'll call this one inventory. And we can see here that under the inventory section, there's also this inventory subsection. If I only want my employee to be able to access the KORONA Studio so that they can do inventories, I'll just click this option here. And then I'll determine if I want them to see all other inventories, create inventories, edit inventories, or delete inventories. So maybe I want them to be able to see the inventories, but I don't want them to be able to create them. I don't want them to be able to delete them. Maybe I'll create them for them and maybe assign them to them and say, hey, I need you to finish this inventory by the end of the month. I can give them a laptop and a scanner on the cart and send them up and down the aisles to scan the specific inventory to get that task accomplished. So we can hit save at the top here. And then we can go down to users and we'll create them a user. So it's going to ask you for an email address. That will be their login email. So I will go ahead and say this is their official company email address. We'll go ahead and confirm it. We can put in their first and last name, phone number if you want it, and then of course their specific role. So we'll put inventory. Lastly, we'll want to determine which specific stores they'll have access to. So we'll want to just assign them to the Nevada store. So I'll unclick these other options and then hit save. Okay. Now it will have sent them an email to the email address here, and they will be able to set up their password, and they'll log in and they will see just this inventory section and specifically this inventory section under here. They won't see the commodity groups or products or warehouse because we only ever assign them this inventories option. Thank you for watching this Corona POS Help Center video. For more information, please check the description down below, where you'll find our online manual page, as well as the contact information for our support center and any other resources that'll help you get the most out of your Corona POS system.